I don't know what's up. I don't know if my phone just clicked off and just stopped, or I never pushed it. I have no idea. Oh my God, there is something going on with the realities that is going to a whole nother level. Like weird shit is going on. When I was driving the other day to go pick her up, um, after I got her and I was driving back, and it was really frenetic and the energy was just like, oh my God, it was so chaotic. And I felt like, coming out of a place like this, it's all rural, you don't have people right on you and your energy has its own space and it's not conflicting with others. Then, but when you go into those, it is like this, people just don't even see how much it's like our energy. Like we need to spread out. We need to be on top of each other like that, speeding around, focused on this, focused on that. And there was this one part though, and it was super, super chaotic. And then all of a sudden it was like, I went in and there was this car, one on each side. And suddenly it was like, I went in and it was like I moved right exactly with them. And it was like in slow motion, like there was no sound. And all of a sudden I was like in with them and I'm moving with them. And it was like these three cars, like felt like they were in sync. And it was weird. It was like kind of creepy feeling. And then all of a sudden it broke free. Because when it happened, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Should I even be behind the wheel? It was really weird. And then when I broke free from it, and it went just right back to chaos. It was really, really weird. But another weird thing happened too was I do all these stretches. I'm always talking about doing these stretches and holding stretches. It used to be called calisthenics, but in yoga, mixing up, like I kind of mix up, like I think, because like I try and do like stuff like Karate Kid. That and yoga and calisthenics and trying to, strengthen your muscles. So I'll do these stretches and it's like in yin yoga and you hold them. So I went down to go do this one. And when I went, it was like I was going and then it didn't stop. I went past my body and it was the creepiest, weirdest sensation. Oh my God, I couldn't even believe how creepy it was. I yanked back so fast. I was like, oh my God, that was so horrible. It just all of a sudden, like when you did the thing, it felt like, you had a boundary, but then all of a sudden it just like came out super, super fast. I didn't come all the way out like I have before, but I just came out like part way and then pulled back in real quick. Oh my God, it felt so weird to not have, a restriction when it felt like you had one. But there's so many things. Like when they were here this weekend, there were things like we were sitting outside and we had music going, we're having such a good time. And because to me, it just is like, no matter what, just create a moment, just, an experience that you can remember, that, have fun, enjoy life, enjoy the planet. So we're sitting out there and we're listening to music and we're having fun and stuff. And we're laughing and everything. And then there became this part where it seemed like we had opened a portal. And I was like, oh my God, we've opened a portal, because when we would be talking, the TV started saying like the same stuff. And it was like the TV was communicating with us. I was like, oh my God, they're communicating. We've opened a portal. We're in communication. And it felt so like, I don't even know. It felt like, it did feel like you were just like vibrating, like you weren't even, you weren't held back. I don't know how to explain it. It was weird. It felt really weird. I don't know what it felt like to them, because we're on this split reality. So it's totally different to them. But to me, it was like the energy just felt more like free and up. And the, the TV starts, or no, it wasn't the TV. It was music. Started, like we would say something and it would say it at the same time. And then it was started being like, we would be saying something and it would answer. It was weird. And I saw, and then there was some people outside, and started trying to play their music like loud, like, whoa, we're going to play our music. I was like, everybody should be out playing your music. That we should be competing over who's having the most fun, who's enjoying life the most, who's the most connected, who's the most centered. Let's just, let's all focus on that. Let's move towards that direction. I'd even heard something about like, that people need to stop focusing on all of the different things. And I have heard people, because I had stopped, there's a lot of people real focused on, how things are playing out and they're reporting. And sometimes I'd go in just to kind of see like, what's the progress, what's going on. And, but there's so many people focused on watching the collapse that to me, I feel like the more we pull out of that energy and take our energy out of it as a collective, the more we direct it of how we want things to be. Because we're just like watching, their world is blowing up. And, but, when they get done, then we get to build ours. They've had the rule long enough. Now it's our turn. And that was another thing too that I thought of, that I thought was really cool. What did I just say? Oh, one thing too that guy was talking about with the East and the West, and how the polarization started on this planet and all that stuff. That is kind of like how I saw the split reality thing this weekend. I kept being like, okay, so is this the two totally different philosophies, two different approaches to life? Because in my approach, it's about, don't judge people. Like if you think someone's, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, then it's coming from within here, because I don't know what they are. I'm not living inside them. So how would I know how they feel about anything? It's all my assumption by, it's all this assuming and stereotyping and judging, all that shit. And that to me is like, we're moving away from that. We're moving to the empowerment of the individual. Don't be compliant. Don't be, do what anybody else says. In the other side, it seems like it's all about being compliant. I'm not really sure. I don't really understand the flaw. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, to me, it's like taking total responsibility for how you feel. And, if you're being triggered, and it depends on the thing. Like I had triggers this weekend, when I'm trying to work them through, like you start getting like different conversations that come in and they start going together, these things. And then, you're trying to be like, okay, so, I want to see this. I don't want it to bother me. I want to understand it. I want to, put it where it needs to be. But I also can't just be in denial of it. I got to face it. It wouldn't come up if it didn't need facing. So, trying to face it and stuff. And then, if you talk about it, so like, I'm seeing this. So like, if you are going through things in your life, like maybe it gives you another perspective to look at whoever you're dealing with. But, so if you're talking and you're telling like what you're talking about, and then they label it and they decide like, well, you're this, you're that, you shouldn't do that, you should do this, you should, then that's coming from within them. That's not coming from you. I haven't even labeled some of this stuff of how I try and get away from labels. Like, to me, if I even catch myself using labels, it's like, oh, I gotta get away from that. Get away from labels, get away from judgment, get away from expectation, get a lot more in the moment. And that was another thing too about the words being manipulated. And I started, and not just manipulated, because they're being super manipulated, the language and stuff right now, but also that just, knew it was coming. I'll totally blank out. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, there was something else. Let me put them out. Maybe that will help. Come on, you guys. Go. What's the item bar? Oh my God. Okay. So, anyways, to me, it just seems like that it is about us to release judgment, release labeling, to become centered, to focus on self, to go to myself, my own body, my own everything, for my health, for trying to understand the world. Like my consciousness is, it's like giving my consciousness like permission to experience or something, you know? And before, it is if like we don't even know we're consciousness. We're just like this weird thing that was born, and then we're supposed to just comply, and whatever we're told. And yeah, as a soul, it's just breaking free from that big tyranny, if you ask me. But in order to do so, you have to understand yourself as a consciousness, and understanding yourself, your you know, there's a lot to it. And that's how, that's what I see going on. Yeah, I'm not sure, you know, what the other stuff is. And I kind of think that whatever is about to happen, I was thinking about this today, because there's so much, I mean, the buildup is, oh my God, the buildup of all this stuff is crazy. Oh yeah, because I was saying I had to pull away and stop, because you get too, like, you're emotionally caught up hanging on, like, oh, if this doesn't happen, so it's just like, oh, I gotta pull away, I gotta just not listen. And then I was really surprised today, because my mom's like, I can't even have the news on, because before she was like, you know, she'd get all upset and she'd tell me, and I'd say, you gotta quit listening to them, and they're just manipulating you. They're trying to make you stress out. They want you stressed. Quit listening. And then today she's like, I can't even listen. But she knows a couple things, so she gave me a couple updates, so I know a little bit what's going on. And it seems like yeah, oh man, this is like in a symphony. This is a big buildup, man. It's I can't even believe it. But so I was thinking about, like, how will this play out, especially after, you know, spending that weekend. It feels like the Twilight Zone, because two people are in totally different, not even seeing reality at all the same. And so to me, I started thinking about the Hawaii thing. And I started thinking, I bet you that would be it. That would bring all the people together. Well, at least right here, but who knows? Maybe there would be, you know, there's certain countries that are going to, you know, threaten us with war to wake us up, if that's how it's going to go down. But just think, the alarm things go off. They tell us, you know, you need to take cover. You got 30 minutes, blah, 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 20 minutes, whatever. I mean, it takes like, I think, 35 minutes or something for a nuclear bomb to go from, I don't know, I've heard the different stuff. I don't know. There's a little bit of a time period to sweat it out. I think it's a sweating it out. Because once that alarm goes and you can't get through to people, and you're kind of just like isolated. And it kind of, when I saw that, then I was like, oh man, that would kind of make sense why the ending's not for everyone. Because just think about the War of the Worlds. They thought that the aliens were landing. There's people in there jumping off the roof, like, I'm going to kill myself. Fuck that. You know, it'd be kind of like the same thing. Like, I'm not waiting. I'm not blowing up. But in those minutes that take to lead up for the alarm to go off and say, oh, you know, it's all under control, don't worry. In that time, for people who especially are super, super fearful of death, you know, anything they can do, like, you know, they think they have like some sort of control over it, I guess. And so I thought that would be the way that would just get all these people, like, there would be people out in the streets probably holding hands and praying and crying, you know, if the shit goes down like that. So that very well could be, you know, that we have to have that silence. Maybe Hawaii was a test, because that would, because it is like, how will they bring these groups together so that we can move forward? Because I still don't, even if that whole thing about the solar flash and the you know, the ascension, the, I don't know, Siddhartha tribulation, you know, all these different groups that explain it differently, but it's still the same thing. Always like these, you know, this group of souls is going one place, this group of souls is going to another place. But we're not to that part yet. There has to be the part that wakes the people up so they all get an equal chance to, you know, find their spiritual side, make a decision as a soul if they're going to ascend or stay in the cycle. 26,000 more years. Whew, God, that just sounds like I sometimes I'll be someplace and I'll be watching someone living their life and I'll think, oh, that's cool. That would be an experience, I can totally, reincarnation makes so much sense to me. It's weird how it doesn't make any other sense, and it makes sense to everybody, but it's all, indoctrination. If you've been indoctrinated about religion, yeah, it's going to sound like hocus pocus. It's going to sound crazy because your whole life is supposed to be spent trying to have a successful death. So, and really, your whole life is, life after life after life after life, trying to learn and learn and learn and learn to become like a cohesive one to, go out and start and make more and more and more. Like I think at the end of this cycle, like the 26,000 year thing, that the solar flash or whatever this energy surge that's going to happen, I think it moves everything. Like I've heard the Earth will come off its axis. The moon's going to be somewhere different. Who knows? Maybe we'll have two suns. Maybe we won't have a moon very long. I don't know. Who knows what our future is? But to me, it's super exciting. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. But there's got to be like some kind of, there's something coming up we're close to me. And it is just going to start the dominoes going. But still, I mean, this is a soul thing. This is going to go on and on. And the more people that are just attached to all these three-dimensional paradigms, they're going to have the hardest time letting go of it because it's collapsing. It's all falling apart. It's all being exposed. It's all being shown to us as it's collapsing. It's nothing we want to hold on to. Even when I was driving too, when I got into Yakima, and it just hit me. I was like looking around, I was thinking these restaurants and businesses and how many small ones, would get successful and then sell out to corporation. Like corporation didn't just take us over. We willfully, said, yeah, good. Yeah, like they're the giant salesman and we all bought it. Like, yeah, that'll be great. That'll be the best thing for society. And they had an agenda the whole time. Collapse of humanity. But anyways, we're going to take it back. Things are moving forward. So anyways, there was just those, there was a lot more things, but I've been in the car all day. I was up all night. There's been like day after day where just wake you up and then it just is like, you cannot shut it off. You just talk. So, get up, start writing and try and get, so I'm tired. But anyways, I think that we're close. Who knows? Maybe this week the alarm can go off. I really think there's going to be something that is going to have people think that they're about to die. And that's what's going to, give us that push. We'll see. Hopefully this is the week. Hopefully we start moving on because it sure feels stagnant. So have a great day. Remember, work on yourself. That's the only thing you're going to be able to change. Okay, have a great day. Bye.